Hello Edexcel students, with paper 1 just around the corner, paper 2 not far after that. This video is absolutely perfectly timed. We're going to be breaking down the paper. We're going to be making sure that things like time management, essay structures, exam techniques, all of that you're very clued up on, so that when paper 1 comes away, you're ready to absolutely smash it. What you don't want to do is make errors that can be avoided in paper 1, whereby you have to learn from those and then rectify those in paper 2. We don't want that to happen. We want paper 1 to go amazing, whereby you know the paper inside out, you know your strategies inside out, you know your time management inside out, so that when paper 2 comes along, you just have to repeat exactly the same stuff. And that's why this video is absolutely crucial. So make sure you stay tuned all the way to the end. You take on all the advice coming your way. You're ready then, very confident to go ahead and nail your paper 1. And also know that this is one video of many in my revision for 2025 exams playlist. Make sure you've watched all the videos relevant to you and that you stay tuned for more. All of the videos coming, there are plenty more coming, are going to be uploaded there. So subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Make sure you're notified when those videos are uploaded. But let's get into it, guys. Let's break down paper 1. Same structure for paper 2 as well. Papers 1 and 2 will be broken down in exactly the same way. There'll be 3 sections: Section A, Section B, and Section C. Section A is your short answer question section. There'll be 5 questions in total. Each question is worth 5 marks. Each question will have a multiple choice aspect to it, and then 4 other marks for you to grab as well. And to get those other 4 marks, you might need to explain something, or with the help of a diagram, draw a diagram and explain something. You might have to calculate something, or list or state something, define something. Basically, it's just a test of your content knowledge, nothing more than that. It's quite an easy section really for you guys to aim for full marks. You just got to make sure that whatever those other 4 marks make you do, you're doing that exactly. Know that when you need to explain something, there'll be 1 mark reserved for application, and that's where you just use whatever information is given to you in the question for your example there, for your application mark. But just make sure you're doing what the question asks. If it says explain something, you need to write in detail. If it's draw a diagram and explain, make sure your diagram is fully labeled. Make sure it's accurate. Make sure your explanation is referring to the diagram and it is detailed. If you need to calculate something, make sure you're showing all your working. Make sure there are units in your final answer as well. If the question makes you refer to a chart previously, make sure you're doing that. So just do exactly what the question is saying and don't skimp on any detail. My advice in this section is you're looking for a mark a minute. Edexcel recommend 30 minutes. I'm saying a mark a minute. 25 minutes is all you're going to need here. You can be quick, you can be speedy, you can be confident, but you're still being thorough. You're not making silly errors. Often when marks are dropped, it's because of silly errors, people not being thorough, people not reading the question carefully and referring to a chart above or something. But if you're thorough, you're speedy, you're efficient, 25 minutes is plenty of time to get through this section. The 5 minutes you save compared to what Edexcel say, you can use for short essays in Section B or for your 25 marker at the end. But that's how to blast through Section A. You're aiming for full marks. It's just a test of content knowledge. Let's move now to Section B. I have no idea what Edexcel examiners were thinking when they designed Section B. It is a brutal section, it's horrible. Not because it's difficult, but because of time management. We're talking your 5, 8, 10, 12 and 15 marker, a variety of short essay questions all linked to extracts, your data response section. What you don't want to be is a student that messes up their time management, maybe is overwriting in these essays, and the end result, maybe you get to your 15 marker or your 25 marker and you've just run out of time. You know, I speak to Edexcel examiners all the time. I spoke to one just a few weeks ago, and she says that even to the day, so many years after this exam started, there are many students that still write maybe 2, 3, 4 lines on their 15 marker or similar for their 25 marker, and their grade is simply thrown out the window. You want to avoid that. So my advice for you is, in readiness for paper 1, you want to have 2 strategies set in stone that you're very confident with. First of all is a time management strategy. Second is an essay structure strategy. You want to be super confident with both. You want to make sure that you know both work when it then comes to doing your real paper 1 exam. When it comes to time management, my advice, just think a mark a minute. 5 minutes for the 5, 8 minutes for the 8, 10 minutes for the 10, 12 minutes for the 12, 15 minutes for the 15 marker. If you add that up, that gets you to 50 minutes. You actually have 1 hour for section B, but I recommend just think a mark a minute. So in your head, you're being brutal. You're trying to stick to the mark a minute time strategy, knowing though that if you need an extra 2-3 minutes for the 15, you have it. If you need another 2-3 minutes for the 12, you have it. But you're not trying to use that 10 minutes buffer time. No, you're trying to stick to a mark a minute. That level of insane brutality in your mind with time management is what you're going to need to stick to. Yes, so that you're not going to run out of time for the 15 or for the 25 marker right at the end in section C. But that little bit of buffer time, knowing you have that, is very useful, but you're trying not to use it. So that's my advice when it comes to time management. For essay structure, you've got to be comfortable with your own way of answering all of these questions, a way that you know will work very well. If you want my advice, know that I've got an exam technique playlist for all the Edexcel questions. It's my Edexcel exam technique playlist, very clear to see it on my channel homepage. It's also linked above me, which you can click on, but make sure you watch the videos there for section B, my guidance of how to answer all of these questions very well, and you'll be set. But have your structures in stone, know that they work, given the very strict time management you have in section B, and you'll be fine. You know, the most common complaint I get after paper 1 is students telling me on Instagram, DMing me saying, look, you know, my time management went out the window. It was section B that cost me. And it's like, yes, that can happen. So beforehand, have this strategy ready, whether it's time management, whether it's essay structure, and know that it works. The last thing I'll say about section B is that the underlying assumption is that for all these questions, you're going to be using the extracts very well. The extracts are there to help you. You can drive your points from the extracts. So read the question, and then before you're going to plan it and answering, go to the extracts and let the extracts drive the points that you're going to be making in your essays. You then add the economic theory to those points to develop them into full paragraphs. But use the extracts well. There are always marks reserved for application use of the extracts. Let's move on now to the 25 marker in section C. So in section C, there'll be 2 25 markers. You need to pick one of those 2. First of all, choosing is fundamentally important, making sure you get your choice right. Don't just choose because you see, oh, it's a favorite topic of mine, or you think, yeah, this looks quite nice. No, you've got to choose the essay you can write in the most detail in, because it's detail in analysis, in evaluation, in that final paragraph that's going to score you the highest marks. So really think carefully. You see both essays, read them carefully, and then think, which one can I write the most detail about? That's how you choose your 25 marker. And then yes, go into your 25 marker, but remember that you need to have real world examples to back up everything you're saying in your analysis, your evaluation, and that final judgment paragraph as well. Because in paper 1, the question might say using a market of your choice, or using a labor market of your choice, using an industry of your choice. Paper 2 most likely will say using a developed country of your choice, or a developing country of your choice, right? To back up everything that you're writing. The expectation is that you have great real world examples ready to go. So hopefully in your revision, you're doing that for every single topic area in the course. You've got real world examples to back you up. If not, there is still plenty of time to get my examples for exams pack. In this book, I give you real world examples for everything in the course, everything in micro, everything in macro, so that exactly you've got examples to back up what you're writing in that 25 marker. If you're interested, you can get this book from my website. It will get there within the next day, so still plenty of time to get it and to use it well. But regardless, you need to be having great real-world examples to back you up. On this 25 marker, the most important thing that you get right is writing in detail. Detailed analysis, detailed evaluation, detail in that final paragraph. So my advice to help you get that right, you need to ensure, first of all, your time management is really good. It's 35 minutes for this 25 marker. That will allow you to write in huge detail. To make sure all time management is right, we said it's 25 minutes for section A, 1 hour for section B. That gives you 35 minutes for your 25 marker. But you've got to make sure that in this revision time, you're doing a 25 marker or 2 under time conditions, so that you know your time management works, so that you know your detail is good within the time management that you have. But once you're comfortable doing that, just do essay plans. Within an essay plan, you're still using all the techniques that you're going to be writing in the final exam, but without having to write the full paragraph. Far more efficient. It allows you to cover more 25 markers across a wide variety of topic areas. So go to essay planning is the smart way to go. But yeah, detail is fundamental, especially guys, not just in analysis, but in that evaluation too, and in that final judgment paragraph as well. It's detail that's going to score you the highest marks, as well as backing all of that up with real world examples. So there you have it. That's how to nail that 25 marker. So there you have it, guys, a breakdown of paper 1 and paper 2 for you. You want to make sure that you've taken in all this advice, you know the techniques to write in, you know the structures perfectly, you know the time management perfectly, so that when paper 1 comes along, you can smash it. We don't need to learn from errors in paper 1 to then rectify for paper 2. No, paper 1 and paper 2 are going to be brilliant. And also know that this is one video of many in my revision for 2025 exams playlist. Watch them all in there and subscribe to the channel so that new videos that will be uploaded in that playlist, you're aware when they are uploaded, you watch them straight away. So thanks for watching this video, guys. Make those revision gains. Can't wait to see you in future forthcoming videos.